people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
Association of Boxing Commission Michael Mazulli was quoted as saying that this statement was overkill. When you hear the statement that you are an imminent threat to the integrity of the sport that you have honed since age 11, I know you're tough, but I also know that your father, who had been in prison, came and introduced you to boxing, did not want you to box because he didn't want a girl, didn't think it was a safe sport for you. You get the permission as a baby, you start training, you have the discipline, you prove everyone wrong. And then in a statement, someone can say you're an imminent threat to the integrity of the sport.
This audio was sent to me by Mr. T, friend of the channel. Apparently, Mike Mazulli, president of the Alphabet Commission, he's the one who ordered the WBA to scale back the number of titles they had in circulation. It's that Mike Mazulli.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit is right. What could Mike Mazulli have against Clarissa Shields? Why would he identify her as being a near and imminent threat to the integrity of the sport?
What could she have done?
Well, we're about to get into it.
Well, when I read that, that's what kind of, hurt my feelings a little bit, because I know that, I don't do anything wrong when it comes to boxing.
Don't do anything wrong when it comes to boxing? If my memory serves me, a member of your entourage, your younger brother, more specifically, attacked an elderly man.
James Ali Bashir, more specifically, who was training Ivana Habazin at the time.
Your younger brother struck him in the back of the head when he wasn't looking. Guy James Ali Bashir's age, a punch like that could have killed him.
And being a black woman in the sport already, I have to work 10 times harder to even get equal pay. To even get put on TV, to get respect.
Work hard to get put on TV? When has Clarissa Shields ever had to work hard to get put on TV? She debuted as a professional on Showtime, a major cable network. Do you know how many women didn't get to debut on television?
Asian women, Hispanic women, white women, black women.
Why does Clarissa Shields always refer to being black as some sort of a handicap? Like we're supposed to feel sorry for her, like she's got some sort of a condition.
I'm black, so I have to work extra hard.
No, you don't. You've had the red carpet rolled out for you since you debuted as a professional, which is why you debuted on a major cable network. You never struggled to get on TV.
So I have to kind of walk a straight line. And so I'm walking a straight line, and then to see someone say that, it was like, well, it's also hard for me to get endorsements and sponsors because of the sport that I do.
More poor me shit from Clarissa. It's hard for you to get endorsements? Sky Nicholson has endorsements. Amanda Serrano, she has several.
She is affiliated with several major brands. Advertisers, Katie Taylor.
She's got endorsements. If you don't, it's not because you're a woman and it's not because you're black.
Alicia Baumgartner's black, and she just landed on season 5 of Special Forces on Fox.
So allow me to say the quiet part out loud, which is what I specialize in. If you don't have endorsements and major brands don't want to touch you, it's because you're ugly. You're ugly inside, you're ugly on the outside. It's not written on any piece of parchment that after you win a certain number of belts as a professional, you're entitled to endorsements and major sponsorships. You're not.
Your problem is you're entitled. You think you are owed these things.
But you are not owed favor and adulation from the fight fans. You're not owed endorsements from major companies. If they don't want to use you, they don't want to use you.
And how they don't really know how to accept powerful black women. So now I'm fighting this.
And how they don't really know how to accept powerful black women. So now I'm fighting this.
Stop you right there, Sunshine. Because if it were a white woman saying the same thing that you're saying, powerful white woman...
Oh, they don't know how to accept a powerful white woman.
She would be lambasted for saying something like that. She would be castigated, alienated for saying she's a powerful white woman. So why should you get special treatment for saying you're a powerful black woman?
It's not a handicap. It's not a medical condition. Why do you always want special treatment?
You're not advocating for equality. You're advocating for preferential treatment. That's what you expect. But why?
Well, what about slavery?
What about slavery? Clarissa Shields was never anybody's slave. She was never picking cotton on anybody's plantation. She was never kept out of the educational system due to segregation. She had the same access to public schooling that everybody else has. Now, if she didn't grow up rich...
Boo-hoo, bitch. Most of us didn't grow up rich. I didn't grow up rich. That doesn't mean anybody owes me anything.
So don't nobody owe you nothing, what, because you grew up in poverty?
So did most of us. What's your point?
Still harping about equal pay when... There's no such thing as equal pay, not even among men. Eliminate the women. Do you think all the men in boxing are making what all the other men are making? Does everybody make what Canelo makes?
No.
Inoue, Joshua, Fury? Of course not, because there's no such thing as equal pay. It doesn't exist among men, and it doesn't exist among women.
In sports, least of all.
Sports fall under the umbrella of showbiz. And in showbiz, if you don't sell that much... you won't make that much. That's what determines what you get paid, not how many belts you won. Clarissa is likely thinking to herself, look at all these divisions I've been a champion in, and look at all these belts I have. Surely if I were a man, I'd be making more than I am now, which isn't necessarily true.
No.
The Japanese multi-weight champion Kenshiro Teraji is a perfect example. See, he's been a champion at 3 weights, whereas Ryan Garcia... he's only been a champion in 1.
Now ask me which one of them makes more money.
Is it the multi-weight champion with more trophies to put in his trophy case, or is it Brian Garcia, who only now became a champion by fighting the weakest link at 147? Take a guess.
Because it's never been that after you win a certain number of world titles, you're entitled to adulation and sponsorships and big money. The hope is that by the time you get there, you will have amassed enough of a following to start making that money. So why hasn't Clarissa?
Because she's an obnoxious bitch. Why would Mike Mazulli identify her, of all female fighters, as a near and imminent threat to the integrity of this sport? Without further clarification from Mike himself, it's open to interpretation, but I can take a guess.
The one thing Clarissa said that is true is that a lot of people don't respect her, but it's not for the reasons she might think. She tries to hide behind bigotry and racism, that's why people don't like her, and that's why she's not more successful or making more money.
But that's not it. It's because she's an obnoxious bitch. She always has been.
Being an obnoxious bitch. That's why Mike Mazulli views her as a threat to the integrity of the sport? That's it?
Not that by itself, but that she's a poor ambassador for the sport. She's been around long enough, roughly a decade, and most of the attention she seems to garner is negative. Pay attention to what you're seeing on the algorithm now. There are any number of content creators that all of a sudden started covering Clarissa, but not in a good way.
They don't like her. She's not making new fans with what she's doing. Inside and outside of the ring.
You've got content creators making videos about her anywhere in between 16 to 40-minute videos.
They're not saying good things. She's not getting positive attention for herself or for the sport, for women's boxing, its image.
Some of these content creators regularly cover boxing, but there are a good number of them that don't. And the algorithm seems to like these videos where people are taking shots at Clarissa, trashing her because they don't like her, so that if Mike Mazulli all of a sudden said that she's a near and imminent threat to the integrity of the sport, I think that it might have something to do with it, that she's not a good ambassador for boxing. She never has been.
How does that make her a threat, though?
Mike Mazulli, as the president of the ABC Commission, would have unique insights, more than me and you, as to how many times belts have been manufactured for Clarissa Shields. It doesn't get said often enough outside of this channel that most of the belts she won were belts that nobody was holding, but Mike Mazulli, more than many others, would know this.
How many times Alphabet Commissions manufactured titles out of thin air to give Clarissa something to fight for, just for nobody to watch, for nobody to pay attention, for nobody to care?
Mike would know that her undisputed run was a fucking joke, yet you have boxing scribes and popular periodicals still trying to put her on a pedestal on the premise that she's the GOAT.
For dominating weight classes where there are barely any girls to fight, a queen with no subjects, with no kingdom.
Title reigns with no substance. Mike would have unique insights into that because he oversees all of those alphabet commissions. So he would know how many times they cooked up a belt out of thin air to give it to Clarissa to fight a soccer mom, a soup lady. The fiasco with Alicia Baumgartner might have also something to do with that. Here you have Clarissa Shields attending an event for a promotion she claims to not like and doesn't like her. MVP. So then what the fuck was she doing there? Was she actually invited to the VIP section, the after party, for one of their shows, or did she just decide to show up because she thinks she's got it like that? She shows up, starts some shit with one of their fighters, strikes her, then gets herself banned from attending any of their future events. And this is the image of Clarissa Shields that we all know, Mike Mazulli included. So his perspective on her being a threat to the integrity of the sport might have something to do with that. All these vacant titles they're always cooking up for her, her behavior outside of the ring, people's perception of her, that she's not a good ambassador for this sport. She's an embarrassment. Continues to embarrass herself in pursuit of clout.
To the fight, link with me. You have my number. Okay. And we make it happen.
I'm so happy. Okay, what are you cutting down to?
160. Where you just fought at?
Woo!
It wasn't even me that originally said it. It was gossip columnist Tasha K, who warned Chrisean Rock, be careful about rubbing elbows with Clarissa Shields because she's got a love-hate relationship with everybody that associates with her. Initially, it was love with Layla Ali, and Clarissa turned it into hate. Initially, it was love with Alicia Baumgartner, same deal. Same with Amanda. It could be the same with Chrisean. Now you can kind of understand it a little bit better. After so much time, why did Clarissa finally decide to back down to 160? Because people had been telling her to do that for years, but she only all of a sudden decided to do it. And I don't think it's really just for Lauren Price. Been noticing the last year and a half, 2 years, that she's been trying to exit the boxing space and enter into the hip-hop space, which is a little bit more mainstream, in pursuit of clout, in pursuit of more money. When Chrisean made her boxing debut, Clarissa is really quick to congratulate her. Why wasn't she that quick to congratulate Jake Paul? She gave him a hard time for being an influencer moonlighting as a boxer. Why is it not okay when he does it, but it's okay when Chrisean does it? She's been clout chasing Jake Paul for years, trying to manufacture a beef between them that not only she started, but she's kept alive. She's been trying to siphon clout from Jake Paul for years, to no avail. So now she figures she can draw more flies with honey by being nice to Chrisean Rock, by trying to be seen with her, occupying her same airspace, doing live streams. Chrisean is more popular than Clarissa in a very general sense. Chrisean is more mainstream. For me and my money, far more attractive, with a better body, cuter face, better ass. I mean, you can see the difference. Clarissa's ass looks like a book bag, a half-empty book bag, whereas Chrisean's walking around with 2 firm watermelons behind her. Oh yeah.
Yeah, missing tooth and all. I'd stick my tongue right in her fucking ass. I would tongue punch her asshole.
Missing tooth and all in any event. All of a sudden, Clarissa Shields wants to make nice with social media influencers and streamers, where initially, she started off giving them a hard time, at least Jake Paul. So why do you have a soft spot for Chrisean that you didn't have for Jake? Is it because Jake is white? Well, that would make you a racist. I know that some people out there think that people of color can't be racist on the premise that they have no power over their Caucasian counterparts, but that's not the definition of racism. That's not what racism is. Racism, by definition, is a prejudice on the premise of race. It falls under the umbrella of prejudices, which could be due to an ethnic group, a religion, or race. And it seems to me that she's just racist against white folks. Like a lot of people, because they think they can be. They've given themselves a pass to be bigoted and racist towards whoever they feel like. So if she's giving a Jake Paul a hard time for being an influencer, moonlighting as a boxer, where she's not giving that hard time to Chrisean Rock, well, it's because her and Chrisean are the same race. Makes you a racist. And you're trying to clout chase her. You're trying to come up off of her. I don't think it'll be long before Clarissa Shields starts calling out Chrisean Rock for a fight. Trying to, because Chrisean is already just as, if not more popular, than Clarissa. I see the casuals falling for it. Look at how positive Clarissa Shields is, trying to help Chrisean out and give her pointers, but that's how everything starts for Clarissa. Her relationship with Layla, with Alicia, with Amanda, it all started on a positive note, and then after a while, Clarissa Shields found a way to make them her enemy because she believes that she is in competition with everyone in her surrounding airspace. Men, women, rappers, influencers,
WNBA players. Remember when Angel Reese won a BET award, I think it was, for Athlete of the Year? Clarissa Shields shaded her. I don't think that got enough attention. So whenever somebody's doing really good and they're buzzing and they're popular, don't you see that Clarissa finds a way to occupy their same airspace? She did that with Alicia Baumgartner after she beat Michaela Mayer, what's supposed to be her friend, her Olympic sister.
at least according to Michaela. Another white girl trying to get invited to the cookout.
People don't know how silly they look.
Up until that point, Clarissa and Michaela were supposed to be close. Then Michaela loses to Alicia, and who do you see Clarissa Shields palling around with? The woman that beat her. The woman that beat her quote-unquote Olympic sister. I always wondered about how Michaela felt. How did she feel about that?
Underneath it all, does she have the strength of character to tell herself the truth? Clarissa's not really your friend. You can't be that close because if you were, how could she be comfortable palling around with the woman that just beat you, that handed you a crushing defeat?
Michaela Mayer took that loss really hard. You know that she did. So how do you think she felt seeing Clarissa Shields all of a sudden palling around with Alicia, who she wasn't actually friends with before? And it's what I'm telling you, whoever's buzzing and whoever's doing good, male or female, Clarissa tries to work it out so she can occupy the same space as them, siphon clout from them. She did that with Alicia back when Alicia was buzzing.
Then you see how things turned out.
Now I'm just telling you, she's doing the exact same thing with Chrisean Rock. Except Chrisean is not a true blue pugilist. She's not a for real boxer, but I don't think Clarissa wants to fight for real boxers anymore. She was calling out Layla Ali for a fight, a woman who's been retired for well over a decade, close to 50. She's desperate for a whale of a fight because where she fights,
there ain't no mega fights. Not even the Lauren Price fight qualifies as a mega fight. It's a solid fight, semi-solid.
Because she's a naturally smaller woman who would be moving up to a division where she's never fought, whereas Chrisean Rock has all of the mainstream appeal that none of these other fights really have. And I see it now, why she finally decided to move back down to 160. It's to get within proximity of Chrisean, and I'm afraid for her and her beautiful ass and thighs.
She might not see it. She might not be familiar with Clarissa Shields' game.
Chrisean spending a bit more time in the boxing world, recently partnering up with Adrian Bronor and Dean the Great. I believe she's being trained by Calvin Ford. You know, I don't know how far she's going to go, but it just gives me the impression she really wants to sink her teeth into this boxing thing, like Jake Paul did, that it's an avenue she really wants to explore. And I believe that Clarissa Shields...
She's not really trying to help her, she's just trying to stay close. Siphon clout from her, so that when the time comes, she can do to her what she did to Layla. Make an enemy out of her. Push for a fight. Chrisean has to be careful.
Not everybody that helps you is your friend.